Okay, great. Good morning, co-banker George. Good morning, and hope you had a nice weekend. It's a beautiful day out there. And can you believe that this is the last day of September? So effectively, you only have one more month, at the most 1.5 months to go, because usually by the middle of November, business in the real estate is really non-existent. For some reason, because of the holiday and people are busy about buying gift and getting ready for the holiday season, and they're not in any mood to move or to sell the house or even buy a house. So the first the last 1.5 months is very slow. So if you haven't reached your goal, this is the time to make up for it. Okay. And go out there and do the last stitch of your effort this year. Make sure make sure that your goal is accomplished. But anyway, having said that, a lot of we still have the inventory not to the satisfactory level. I don't know why. I thought the reduction of 50 percentage points will make a lot of difference in the inventories, but somehow it's not materializing as we have expected. And I think that the reason is because the Fed is kind of hinting that there might be a recession on the horizon, and people are hesitant to make any investment or any movement, and right now cash is the king. So in a recession time, cash is very important. So they are holding on to their cash and not doing anything risky. So, but anyway, nevertheless, we still have some reasonable activity in real estate, and this is what you have to to make it materialize to your advantage. Okay, so go out there and door knock and do whatever you want. Utilize your sphere of influence and get some business altogether. Okay. All right. With that, I would like to start the meeting. And then I'll start with the affiliate first. So let's start with Nicole. Nicole, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Happy Monday and month end as well as quarter end. Thank you, Peter, Michelle, and Doug, for allowing us affiliates to be here with you. And actually, I was going to share today. Did you know that 6% of your clients, your contacts, are likely to put their homes on the market before the end of the year? And as Peter had said, the year end is quickly approaching. There's actually only 92 days left in the year, which is crazy. And so it is crucial for you to connect with your clients right now. Don't wait. I know that all of us affiliates here keep telling you, you need to farm. It is so crucial for you to prospect, call, text, engage on social media, get out and door knock. This is your chance to stay top of mind with your clients. And not only are there 92 days left, there's actually 36 days until the elections, which is pretty scary. We don't know what's going to happen with the market conditions. They could shift, so even more important for you to act quickly. So prioritize your time and your outreach and get those 6% listings and let us help you. Reach out to us for farming tips and tools. We're here to help you grow your business, help you finish the year strong, but not only that, set the tone for 2025. Thank you, Nicole and Yvonne, Fidelity National Title. And when you're taking your listings, please remember, get your prelims open so that you can take a look and see if there are any red flags that need to be addressed before you get those offers. Have a fantastic month end and quarter end. Nicole and Yvonne, Fidelity. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Well said. Appreciate that. The tips. Okay, let's go with John next. John?
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter, Michelle, and Doug, for allowing us to be here. I'll jump on that bandwagon. Yes, Nicole is right. This is the time to be out there in front of your clients because they need help. They need consulting. They need to know what they can do and what the market's doing. And they want to know, hey, is this a good time to buy or sell? And on, wear your badges because they want to be able to talk to you and feel familiar with you, because when you wear your badge, they can say your name. It's always good. I'll go a step further. I'm going to also say, like Nicole, order your Snap and HD reports at time of listing, or even better yet, take it with you on a listing appointment. You only pay if it closes, but that way you have the data. You can ask the proper questions and know what the taxes look like, know what the hazards are there, so that even you can double end it, because if a buyer comes in, they're not represented, boom, now you have the information. They show that you're the expert in the area and they know all about that particular property and everything. We do have the free renters report for your leases and the property tax estimator. My biggest tip to you is use all your social media and touch, either text, phone. I'm going to say that also, just like Peter, to reach out to these people, because right now is the big push. And yes, I knew that interest rates would not drop or instantly bring in activity. So we have to work at it, and we can do it, because right now we're having a later push into the business, where usually it slows down. I think it's going to pick up at the end of the year, and we should take advantage of that. I'm here for you, John Wax with Snap and HD. Thank you for choosing me. I'll put my information in the chat. Let's have a wonderful meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Nancy, you're next. Next is from Lawyer's Title.
Good morning, everybody. Nancy Chen. Like we all said, business is not going to come to you unless you reach out to them. So I think everybody should be making at least 20 phone calls a day to your contact. And this is how you talk to them. The first thing they're going to ask probably is interest rate. And you are all, you all know what's going on. And then the market, and Peter shares all that data, and everybody has that data online, and you can Google it. But you have to start the conversation first. And also, I just got an email, and the package is going to send to me. That's next year's business plan. So we're doing it in October. So this is the time to reflect on what you've done right and what you didn't do correctly or more often. And making phone calls, contacting people is the most important thing. So if I'm doing my business plan for next year, that makes me think about what I did right or wrong. So it's a good thing to reflect and start all over. But it's never too late to start. And I think people say, oh, I haven't called them in 2 years. Call them. They might be pleasantly surprised. Everybody needs some attention. So please give your client some attention. And, all the title reps, all the lender, all the affiliates here to help you. So any kind of question you could get answers besides Peter and Michelle and everybody on staff. So, just have that mindset that you're going to do well and go out and make some calls and get your farm ready. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Nancy. You're right. We should have a business plan for next year, and October is the time to do it. So, Nancy, would you help our agents on one-on-one basis if they need some help on their business?
Yeah, I can share my business plan. It tells about phone calls. You write down who you like to contact, what kind of business you want in the future. I'm still available anytime.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, agents will appreciate that. Thank you very much, Nancy. All right, Andrew from PAB. Andrew, what is new in financing?
Hi, morning, Peter. Morning, everyone. This is Andrew from Pacific National Bank. With the recent, primary change or decrease last week, I know everyone is expecting the rate to be lower. However, that's not the case now. We're still, looking at the rate. So I'll let you know if any rate changes in coming weeks. But so far, we still have the same rate as before. However, now it's a good time for your client to look for lower the rate or refinance at the same time. And again, my info is in the chat room. Give me a call any client looking to lower the rate with the commercial, SBA, construction, or as well as the mortgage rate. We still offer this type of rate, this type of program as of now. Anyway, give me a call. I'm here to help. Looking forward to if any rate changes in the future, I'll send to Peter to share with you guys all. And matter of fact, I'm hosting actually a presentation
Yeah. Mhm.
on October 9th from between 1 and 2 p.m.
Let's
I'll be presenting commercial as well as mortgage loans. So looking forward to see all of you guys in Peter's office. Thank you.
Very good, Andrew. I see, in SBA loans, are they still waiving the guarantor fees?
I'm sorry?
For the SBA loans, are they still waiving the
Guarantee fee.
guarantee fee? Yeah.
Yeah, matter of fact, yes, actually, SBA still wouldn't guarantee fee until actually today's last day. So if
Today's
it's
last
SBA loan that actually be
Oh,
approved, right, last day, because that's the fiscal cut-off year is September 30.
Ah,
So Congress will have to vote for another budget for a coming year, which is not known yet. So when Congress discusses budget, I mean they tend to have fights between Congress and here and there, right? So we'll see how it goes. I'll
so
be
it's a
posted.
little too late now, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
maybe
you.
next time. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's Unita, from HW, the home warranty. Unita?
Good morning,
Good
Peter.
morning.
Good morning, co-banker George. Good morning, Doug and Michelle. I'm here, Unita Wu with Home Warranty of America, the 13 months home warranty, always the 13 months, so you give additional 1 month free. If you guys do have any home warranty, please reach out to me directly. I think everybody kind of mentioning earlier today at the Zoom, if you have a home warranty, even though you just open escrow, please let us know right away so we could be able to order ahead of time, because right now the sellers do need a net sheet, so then everybody is kind of opening out ahead of time. So we want to make sure we order correctly under Coldwell Banker George Realty. So if you guys have any ADU or some kind of like pool or spa, please let me know as well, because I want to make sure that we order correctly, because a lot of us, the rep, we don't go into the house directly, so we don't have a knowledge if the house itself has a pool, have an ADU, or certain things that maybe the buyers currently want, right? We're here to help you. Our home warranty also designed have a homeowner insurance deductible for additional $1,000 that nobody else have. So if you're running any issue with the homeowner insurance right now, we could be able to give you additional $1,000 for that problem that you currently have for plumbing or things like that. Thank you again, and I'm gonna put my information on the chat, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Unita. Have
Thank
a
you.
nice day. I think that's how the affiliates, is there any affiliate that came in late and want to speak up? If not, then this is the spotlight time. Today we are honored to have Frank Delgadillo. Look at Frank to speak to us, and he's a very avid speaker and very knowledgeable. So let's welcome Frank.
Obviously, I'm very interactive. When I get nervous, I get a little bit more like this. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you, CBG family. Thank you, everyone. I gotta say one thing. It was a divine pleasure finally getting to personally meet Nancy Chan yesterday at an open house. So from seeing her this small on the screen to now seeing her in person. And she's more beautiful in person than she is on TV.
You never met
Hey.
Nancy?
No.
Not in
How
person.
can it be? Nancy is so well known and she appears in every social function. How can you not have met Nancy?
Well, the thing I've known her because she's very well known, but it's almost like meeting the president. You know the president, but you never meet him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wish my family thinks like that, like you.
Okay.
Thank you, Frank.
Oh, thank you so much. It was amazing. So, looking at what's going on, so I want to send a couple links in the chat, and thank you so much for the opportunity in doing this. It's with all the stuff that's been going on with NAR and speaking with different agents, different brokers, different people in different areas. Everyone has been seeing this, and it's all perspective. It's all perspective of how you see it. Some people say, "Oh my God, it's bad. Oh my God, what to do?" And you start seeing the social media things about how people are kind of showing, what's the commission, or when they don't tell you, but they show you different ways. But the bottom line is that, and as I'm going to go into the screen here, so let me just get to the share screen. But the bottom line is that we have to be that much more transparent, which obviously it's what it's all about. It's getting to know your customer, getting to do everything the right way, the way it's always been. And I guess we just want to dispel whatever myths come about, but it really comes back down to the basics. It's about, being that person of trust. And I think now, and I could be wrong, and help me out with this as you guys are agents, because you agents are the infantry. When it comes to the stereotypical thought that you guys are out there pounding the pavement, sweating, getting chased by dogs, getting scratched by cats, getting yelled at by neighbors because the price went down, the price went up, and this is wrong, and this is right in the tree. And you think stereotypically us lenders are in the back here, kicking back in an office and an air conditioning, having a Mai Tai every day and every night. Sometimes it's some true. No, I'm just kidding. But it's there. And bottom line is that we are just working just as hard as you guys. At least most professional lenders are working just as hard as you real estate agents. Whether we're doing mental numbers, we're figuring out numbers on how to help out your client. What's the down payment? What's the closing cost? What's their debts, their debt ratios, what they can do, what they can't do. So we want to be able to help you guys out every which way. And it's really about how to create positive strategies for your future home buyers, whether they're buying their house for their first time, maybe moving up, moving down, but knowing how to navigate in the situation. And navigating is the right word to use, because it's just like an airplane pilot on an airplane when you're going to go on a trip. Is anybody thinking about going traveling soon? Maybe. So just like just like with that, your airline pilot, your airplane, your co-pilot, they have backup plans, because what if for some reason you're gonna go from LA to New York and they have to divert because there's trouble in Grand Canyon and they have thunders and so forth. They have to have backup plans on how to get around. So when it comes to the NAR commission, and by the way, I did spell commission wrong, because I did it on purpose, because I know commission is spelled with 2 M's and 2 S's. But sometimes we as lenders and agents don't know how to spell, but as long as we know how to sell, that's all that matters. I want to get you guys in that. So how do we do this? Well, let me first talk a little bit about CMG, because I'm very happy and privileged that I get to work for a company like CMG. Founded in 1993, CMG is known by the name Christopher M. George. So it's a main personal owner. Even though there are some shareholders and whatnot, he's still the owner. So it's like saying like Peter Cam Real Estate. So it's CMG Home Loans. It's located in San Francisco. Top 15 out of 245 lenders, not bad. So we have all these cool little things, and we have a couple of niches about with the company. I've been here since last April, so about 1.5 years, and very privileged and very cool to know about CMG. Now, when it comes to a real estate agent, and you're the agent, not me, I'm going to be your partner. I'm going to be your confidant. I'm going to be the person right next to you. I'm going to be the coach and the guider. And sometimes a good leader needs to be a good follower. So I'm going to be following your steps to help you guys out. And it's all about working with each other. I know you as realtors have the thought of selling the house, just like the movie Wolf of Wall Street, where it says, sell me this pen. And you can always say, when it comes to selling the house, oh, it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. It has this street, it has this, it has all these different things, all those amenities for $700,000 as an example. But it's not just selling the house. It's solving the problem, solving the issue, solving the challenge that somebody has. That when they say, hey, I got a new baby, I have to move out of my rental place. Oh, I'm getting kicked out. The tenant, the landlord wants to move back into the house, so I have to leave in 60, 90 days. Those are the real issues of how sales can start and take place, because you're trying to solve that customer's issue. It's not about saying, well, how many beds and baths does this house have? So it's really knowing your customer, and knowing your customer, not just only by a name and a phone number, an address, an email address, and their identity, but really getting to know what your customer wants. So how do we solve this number one issue when it comes to the NAR issue? Well, it's all about money, money, money. And good or bad, money, people think it's a root of evil. Well, no, money does help solve a lot of things. So it's also going to be the greatness of life. And sometimes when you have money, you tend to feel a little better sometimes. Let's be honest. We love money. We love making commissions. We love taking care of our kids. We love taking care of our family. So how do we do that? Well, so when it comes down to your customer, because your customer, your client, Let me turn this off as I'm getting a phone call. Your customer, your client, they're just a regular person. They're no different than you are. You bought a home, you know how it is, you know how hard it is to maintain it. So how do you take care of that client while prepare your buyers and so let them know exactly how to make the offer? How do you do that? By knowing your customer really, really, really well. And you, the agent, you're the infantry person. You're the one out there getting chased by dogs, getting scratched by cats, getting all the questions that come at you, saying, well, how's the market? Well, how is the market? Knowing how to answer those questions. Well, what about when it comes to someone that says, hey, I need to buy a home? Well, how are you going to make the offer? And we've seen offers get changed around so much in the last 10 years, even more in the last 4 years, that people are putting, here's your price, here's your value, and they're putting this much more, they're putting cash. How do you know your customer has that cash? Well, because you get to ask them all the questions. And asking them all the questions will get to help you resolve that issue. Now, when it comes to making an offer, of course, the customer wants the lowest price, the lowest interest rate, the lowest cost, and wants the champagne and dreams. But being realistic with them, remember, we are realtors, we are real estate agents, we are real. We're not fake estate agents, we're real estate agents. We got to be real with them. Tell them what's going on with the concerns. And obviously, when it comes to this buyer agreement, they have to get to know you, they have to get to like you, they have to get you trust you. And when they get to know, like, and trust, you build that relationship starting right from the bat. So again, I'm not an agent, but I'm a lender, and I get to help. I get to understand that part of it because I'm there walking in the trenches along with you, from making a phone call to figuring out what to do. And our job is to be your guider in these times. So by having backup plans, we get to resolve the many issues that can hopefully be foreseen but prevented. Just the same way as when a pilot is flying to LA to New York and they have to divert around, they don't tell you what goes on when you're in the when you're getting your Mai Tai and your peanuts while everybody's in there. They're saying, hey, we're gonna take a slight little detour, we're gonna go around, we're gonna get there at 7 o'clock instead of 6:55. Everybody have a good time, we're gonna elevate up. They tell you little things, but they don't tell you everything. But we as our plans has to be that co-pilot to help you, the pilot, to navigate through these things. So with this, and I know there's a lot of tech stuff here. With this, what I want to be able to guide you with is that what if it gets to the point that, well, you know what, let me go back a little bit. Let's provide some backup plans. Yesterday when I was with Nancy and I was there with the agent and the family, I got to experience something that I've heard before, but I didn't know it was true. That in many other states, not California, but New York, New Hampshire, I believe Greece and Italy are doing this, that when it comes to the agent selling the house, the buyer has to work with that listing agent. There's no buyer agent involved. You have to work with that person. So it's interesting. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, but I've heard you have to work with that agent. So where does a buyer agent come in? Well, if they don't want to work with that person, they get to then find that buyer agent. They have to pay that agent that commission of what they feel they're going to be worth to help you resolve that problem. So it's interesting when we see that. So again, that's part of those backup plans. We hope it doesn't come down to California like this. But if anybody can kind of go into the microphone a little bit, or maybe on the chat, has there been any questions so far, or has there been any buyer agent that has had the issue of where the buyer had to pay for that commission so far at this point?
Frank, I have a question. Now, if the buyer really wants to have the lender finance the commission paid to the buyer's agent, would the lender willing to pay to do that at this point?
Oh, that's part of my backup plan. Remember, I said if I provide backup plans, I'm going to get to that one right there too. So Peter, you're already thinking. Great minds think alike. You and I are right there with each other. So there's ways we can do that, and I will show it.
Okay. Good.
So I see so far no one has had that issue. Well, I hope that no one ever has that issue, because obviously it's a concern that, what if my client doesn't have the money? What are we going to do? Are we going to just leave that house, or should we, prepare our client and know exactly what to do and how to make an offer on the house? So what I have here is a couple of QR codes. And what I did is I wanted to be very tech savvy, because some people that have their phone in front of them, they can actually just go onto the screen and then, scan it. and they could see what option they will want to pick as to what can probably help them with their client, just in case. So I do have all the screenshots here available, and I'm going to go down to each one. We're on the screen, and I can provide this to you, Michelle and Peter, so that way you can give it to your agents. With these are scenarios of 20% down, 10% down, 5% down, and 3% down. And what I want to do just for now, I just want to use 10% down. I don't want to go to do too many numbers and confuse people, but I want to be able to use a 10% down scenario with $700,000 purchase price. Why? Because, well, let's be honest. When you buy a home for $700,000 and it's 20% down, it's $140,000. I don't carry $140,000 in my pocket. I don't carry $87,000 in my pocket, but for some reason, 10% down just feels nicer. It's like, it's a lot of money, but not a whole lot of money, that I can feel good about this and I can make that kind of payment. So I'm going to use the 10% down scenario just so that way we can use as an example. And please don't get me wrong on three different things. One, the price, because we know $700,000 in most areas is non-existent. 6.5% interest rate. That's just an example, because I just wanted to use an example. And 10% down may be realistic, maybe 5 or 20% down may be realistic for some of you, but I want to use it as an example here. So this is the part where you mentioned, Peter, about the finance, and I'll get to that one, which is column number 3. I have 4 columns here. And the first column is what was pre-NAR. It's the pre-NAR where the seller pays the commission. I'm only going to give you just kind of like the bottom line numbers because I want to get straight to the meat, not the potato, so to speak. I want to get straight to the cheese of saying, hey, when it comes to a buyer coming in to buying a home and making an offer on the property at $700,000 with 10% down, that's $70,000. Okay. But there's also closing costs that are involved. Lender fees, appraisal, maybe some points, maybe no points. Escrow, title, notary, recorder, all those little things, property taxes and insurance. This is a good example of where if a property closes in September or October, and escrow people know about this and title people know about it, that when it comes to impounds, we have to collect between 9 and 10 months of impounds. Wow, that's a lot of money. And that's why it looks like it's a lot of money here. I am being real. I don't want to be fake by showing small little dollar amounts and then later on your customers get angry at me. I show real numbers that if they go down a little bit, they're happier. But this is a good example here. So when it comes to buying a home for $700,000, 10% down at $70,000 plus closing costs and prepaid and so forth, it's about $87,000. So let's use the example here that you have a client that has $90,000 of cash. They saved up their money. They just became a nurse and their husband is an accountant and they're making good, decent income now. They're qualified. They're already gone through me and they've gone through with you to look at the house. They made an offer and they have $90,000 cash and they're going to make an offer at 10% down. If the seller pays your commission, that's all the buyer has to come in with because the buyer doesn't pay your commission, right? The seller does. Cool. Perfect. Now, after NAR, we just don't know where it's going to land because obviously that little commission thing is blanked out. We have to then prepare the client and say, hey, I'm going to charge you X amount because that's what it says on the buyer agent agreement, X amount of money. And then we're going to then negotiate it with the seller. Well, what if the seller says, nope, I'm not going to pay any money to this agent because I just don't want to do it. Whoa, well, hold on a second. Wow, that's kind of a little scary. Well, we have to then prepare that customer and say, hey, look, I'm going to charge you 3% because I'm using a 3% example. Somebody charge 2%, 4%, whatever it is. But at 3% commission, it's still $87,000 plus that $21,000 of a commission. So it ends up being $108,000 in change. So that's not to scare the customer, just to make them aware. If the customer knows you, likes you, and trusts you, and says, you know what, you're worth it. You're worth it, Irma. You're worth it, Michelle. You're worth it, Peter. We're going to do this because you've guided me, educated me, and empowered me in getting in this house, and we got this offer in this house accepted. I'm going to pay you. That's how much money you have to come in with. Us as lenders, we need to know at least that they have $87,000. That's part of the financing portion of it. But we should both, as agent and lender, know that they have $108,000 in change to come in with because we need to be aware of it. Because then how are you going to know where your money's going to come from, right? So that's number one. the question you had, Peter, is that what if the customer says, Frank and Irma, I only have $90,000. I mean, that's I can't pay that 3% commission. Now, what are we gonna do? Well, instead of telling the customer, well, let's look at another house, or let's forget about this one, and let's just get out of the market, because maybe they do need a place to stay, and they did find this house, and they got the offer accepted, and they love the house. That's when the agent and I, as partners, we work with each other. And then Irma's going to tell me, Frank, what can we do to help this customer out? Well, I'm going to say, well, look, they have $90,000. It's not about 10%. It's not about a percentage, whether interest rate or whatnot. It's about they have $90,000. What if we do a strategy that we can finance the commission through the loan? And you're like, wow, how do we do that? It sounds a little bit of fluff, but what it is, the reality is that instead of them putting 10% down toward the loan, they'll put 7% down toward the loan, so that they can save those 3% to the agent to pay their commission. 7 plus 3 is still 10%. And if you look at the cash to close, even though the payment went up $140, the payment went up $140 more from $5,016 to $5,152. That's because they went 7% instead of 10%. They're still coming in with only $87,000 in change. So that's a great strategic way that we can help that customer and saying, hey, you love the house. It is a good one for you. You enjoy it. We already got you underwriter approved and pre-approved for this. You can qualify for it. I don't like using the word afford, because affording is a really for me, it's a redlining thing, because someone can't tell me what I can afford, what I can't. But you can qualify for it, and that's an important thing for you. Let's do it. Now, what if they say, I'm okay with that, but the payment might be, just a little high. Anything we could do that maybe we can then change it around, because maybe, we want to look for a different option. Or maybe the agent says, hey, look, there's some room, because I as an agent, I'm looking at these statistics and I see that there's a little bit of room, that even though the price is asking for this, we offer this, but the value could be this. What if we just simply increase the purchase price instead of $700,000 to $721,000? Because that way, instead of financing it through the loan and the seller don't have to pay for it, we increase the purchase price, so the seller through that spread, through that premium price on the price, can offset and pay the commission. Well, we can do that. So now we're at 10% down, same interest rate, payments of $5,160 a month. It only increases a little bit, but look, the cash to close is still under $90,000. So there's a couple of options. It doesn't say that one option fits everybody. Just as saying like one shoe doesn't fit everybody, because Nancy's shoe is different than my shoe, and everyone's shoe is different, and everyone has a different option. But at least you're getting empowered with knowing that the buyer has options, and being prepared, being provided these numbers in advance is the most important thing that your customer needs, so that they are not just focusing on just in a dollar amount. They're focusing on options that the agent and the lender have helped them with, and getting involved into this house, so they don't have to go somewhere else. And the agent still gets to get his commission. That's a 3%, by the way. That's where you and Peter and so forth can then negotiate it. Maybe you want 4 because maybe the price is less. Maybe you're going to settle with less. That's not my part, but that's where I want to be able to help you guys out on how to maximize your dollar amount, how to maximize your worth as a real estate agent in this market, so that you have your options. Option 2, that the buyer pays the commission if they have the money. Option 3, that they can finance it if they're coming in with 10% down. And maybe we can leverage it a little bit by doing 7% down and 3% commission, or even increase it into the purchase price. So maybe that might be better. Any questions from anyone so far?
So Frank, it seems that your third option is the most feasible for the buyer, because a buyer only has to increase the payment a little bit, and still be restricted. I mean, to be under $90,000 on the cash to close, and it's better than increasing the purchase price by $21,000, right?
Right.
Making your comparison. So my question is, does your lender finance commission for the buyer?
Well, we as a lender do not finance a commission because that's a separate cost. So we have to see it on a loan estimate. So how we determine it is that we have to just kind of shift the number.
Uh-huh.
So it's one or the other. We cannot finance a commission. I could be wrong if there's other lenders that are doing it out there, or depending on how they're painting the picture. But
But you have a scenario here that's saying that the lender will finance the
Yeah.
commission.
And
That's what I'm asking you. Would your lender finance the commission? Most of the lenders don't right now.
right.
So would
But that's where-
your lender finance it? That's my question.
So the question is that we just paint it in a perspective. So rather than putting 10% down plus closing cost,
Yes.
we put a little thing in there that instead you come in with 10% down, you come in with only 7% down for down payment. That's why if you see that the loan amount, instead of being 630, it's 651. Because what we did is that we decreased the down payment. Instead of being 10%, we only made it 7%.
Mhm.
But that 3% from the borrower's funds will go to pay the agent.
Mhm. Okay. And another problem is has to do with the predatory lending. Now, if you allow the borrower to only pay the 5% or 10% down, and yeah, and by doing that you increase the liability of paying the the financing in the long term, and when they cannot afford it in the future, then the buyers can say that, hey, you asked me to only put down 5%, and now because of that I don't have any money to pay the interest and the mortgage payment. So the lenders is guilty of predatory lending.
So can you help me out with this, Peter? Because I'm not understanding, like, what do you mean because of
It used to
affording
be-
versus
Okay,
qualifying?
it used to be in the prime subprime era. The lenders will let the buyer finance the purchase by putting 5% down payment.
Mhm.
Okay, and then there's a lot of foreclosure because of that. Then so the legislation comes up with a predatory lending. You have to know what the ability of the lender, I mean, not of the buyers, to repay the loan.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's-
So by driving down the down payment, you're exposing the buyer to a further the liability later on.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you with that one, Peter, and respectfully disagree with you because it doesn't because I told them put less, it doesn't mean that the buyer can't qualify with more and not less. Because what if they qualify with 3% down? That's their decision, not mine or
Yeah,
yours.
I understand.
So if we tell them we're just shifting it, they have to, one, be aware. Two, we have to disclose it on a loan estimate. Three, they have to qualify for it. So what if the person makes $300,000 of income? And because now I'm telling them to pay $140 more, that doesn't mean predatory lending because their debt ratio is from 21 to 21.2. They can qualify. We cannot predict the future. Like tomorrow, we don't know if the earthquake's going to happen or the Big Bear fire is going to get bigger and come down to Los Angeles. We don't know, right? Let's be exaggerative real. So we don't know what's going to happen 5-10 years down the line, but we know what they qualify for now because we did our due diligence. We know what they're, that's why the word afford is very red line. Because, so for example, someone told me, oh, you're a lender. You can afford buying a Bentley. No, hold on. Don't tell me what I can't afford and what I cannot afford. Can I qualify for it is a different story.
Okay.
So that's why I say respectfully, I have to disagree with you on that one because it's our job to make sure they're qualified. Same way, like let's look at option number 3 with 5% down. Payments go up to almost $5,600. It's our job to still qualify them because what if they don't have $90,000? They have a $200,000 job, income job, but they don't have enough money. Because let's be real. There are people that just graduated in June, which is July, August, September, 4 months ago. They barely got a job offer. They don't know what it is to make $200,000 a month in income because they've been spending all this money from their mom and dad and college. And now they're having a good time and buying drinks all over the place because they have good money. They have money to save it, but maybe this could be an option for them. It's not predatory lending if we qualify for them at 5% down, but it is an option.
Yeah, no, you have a point there, but that's what happened to me when I was younger. I was very ambitious. I buy property at 5% down payment, and I got in trouble because I don't have the carrying power down the road, and then my property got foreclosed. That's I think was that.
I think it could be one of two things, and I could be wrong. It could have been just, the market changes because when rates went up, I wasn't making the same income that I did back in 2020. And that wasn't predatory lending. That just happened to be the market. Could have been with you, could have been your lender, could have been a bad lender that just, oh, don't worry about it. You qualified, you got this. And it could be different stories.
Yeah, that's what happened in the subprime era, Frank. I don't know whether you were here in 2008, but that's the problem there. But anyway, thank you.
24 years doing
much.
this.
You have a very good
24 years doing this. And when I worked at
appreciate it.
Chase and Wells Fargo, I saw many mortgage brokers, personal friends of mine that didn't become personal friends anymore. When I saw them hanging out, playing the guitar, and they're saying, oh, I made $10,000, $20,000 of commission. And here I was at Chase making $800 per loan. That's predatory lending.
All right. Okay, thank you.
So then it's our job to just help your client. So the big takeaways here, the bottom line, know your client, up and down, left and right, ask them questions, be engaging with them. Your buyers must be underwriter credit approved, period. Not just only pre-approved, not even pre-qualified, underwriter approved. Hey, talking to a lender? No, talk to one now. Here's Frank, here's information. Or Andrew, whoever it's going to be. Talk to somebody. Make sure that they know what their underwriter approval is. Know exactly all their money. It's very real. And I think money lenders here, including Andrew, it's always weird that the buyer will trust the agent more with all their money, but not the lender. And whenever I tell a client, hey, how much money do you have? $50,000. Okay, perfect, $50,000. I write down as part of the application, I see it. But then they tell their agent, oh, well, what if I put $200,000 down? It happens. And I wonder, why is that? Because in some clients, stereotypically, they're afraid the lender's going to tell on them, going to tell the IRS, going to tell the government all this money. Hey, look, I'm on your side, Mr. Buyer. I'm your cheerleader. And that's why me, along with Alex Arguedas or Frank or whoever else, we're here to be partners with you. We're not here to cheat you out. We don't want you to screw the bank. We don't want the bank to screw you. That's the English term. We have to be able to do the things right. So ask for all the assets. Ask if they're going to get any gift funds. Worst case, the answer is no. But what if they say, oh, yeah, well, Dad was going to give me $40,000. Perfect. Let's just write it down. Let's get it in there. Let's get it prepared. Make sure they're approved. For your clients out there, agents, and you're out there listening to this, make sure that they are honest with you as the agent as much as the lender. Make sure that we're all working with each other. It's like a pyramid where your client's on top. The client has to feel secure that we have their back, and the agent and the lender have to be working with each other hand in hand. That the pyramid can't be like this, it can't be like this. It's got to be a good balance with each other. And then in your clients, get the ability of being open to you as the agent. When they're signing that agreement, is they're saying, hey, I'm entrusting you to help me. So make sure that your clients trust you. Engage with them, ask more questions, know your client, listen with the intent to understand. That can help you out. Here's just a little sales gimmick that we have. We have a home hunter program. Now, what if you're just missing extra little money? Through CMG, we can do a gifting source that with anybody that wants to give a gift to the buyers, for first-time home buyers, only first-time home buyers. For every dollar that someone gives, we'll gift $2 back to it. Our $2, up to $2,000 will go to our closing costs. That can actually help the buyer's agent in paying for the closing costs, for their commission if needed, while the rest of the money goes to the down payment. So it's good. And how to set up? Realtor.homefunded.com. That's really it. Realtor.homefunded.com. Set yourself up. It's good for clients that it may not be the one for tomorrow, but for the one next year or a couple of years from now or a few months away. It engages with them. So that way their family and friends, best friends, cousins can help them toward their down payment. I have someone right now that I set them up with this, and someone gave $100, someone gave $1,000. They have $3,700 because someone gave them $1,700 and CMG match up to $2,000. $3,700 is not a bad amount to receive for down payment. And of course, if you have any questions, there's my information right there.
Okay, any question for Frank? Frank, it's been quite a lengthy presentation from you, very informational, and I'm sure that the agents has a lot of questions, but you know, we just simply don't have too much time to entertain that at this point. So can you put down your information so that we can contact you? If they
It's
have
right in the
any-
chat.
Okay. But anyway, any quick questions for the Frank before we conclude his spotlight presentation?
Be shorter, Frank. Get to the point. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Frank. Appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, I have a couple of announcements to make. We don't have any lunch and learn for this week, but we do have a training on Friday. It's going to be on this disclosure forms. And actually, we had the part 1 already last Friday, and it is very informational, very useful. So the part 2 is going to be this Friday, and part 3 will be next Friday. And I hope you can all attend, because the disclosure is very, very important. You know, that will give you help you get out of trouble. So Michelle will be training on that, and she has very good information for you. So be sure to attend this Friday. It'll be a hybrid in person in the Alhambra office, and also by Zoom. Okay. All right, with that, I would like to invite Doug Meyer to tell us about the business in Arcadia. Doug?
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
I can't see you.
I know what happened.
I don't know. Oh,
There I
there
am. Hey, I made
see
it.
you.
All right.
it
Who
works.
knew? Who knew? Okay. I thought maybe it had something to do with my Verizon account. It's not working. So, but you know, if anybody has Verizon, I found out something. You can't get through. WhatsApp can work. If you have WhatsApp and another person has WhatsApp, you can call them through WhatsApp. So just an idea. Okay. Anyway, so we got 3 listings and 3 sales I want to tell you about. Our listings in Pasadena is a residential lease on California, 3-bedroom, 3-bath for $3,000 a month. Helen Lee is the listing agent. Steve Hayashi has got a back on the market again. Adair Street in San Marino, 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath, $2,480,000. I saw the property. It's a real nice property. He's got a deadline today for offers. If you have a San Marino buyer, you may want to take a look at it. And also, we have a residential sale listing in next door to my office here on Huntington. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, $1,250,000. And one of the units over there, a similar unit, sold for $1,280,000. So I think the price is pretty good. Still, Guan has that listing. And Teresa Choi did a lease in Arcadia on Genoa Street for $4,300 a month. Wendy Lee had a buyer in Alhambra, a condo in Marengo for $738,000. And Helen Lee had a listing go out a lease for $2,675 in Chino Hills. So it's a little bit quieter this week, Peter, but we're hoping that this week will be much better. So thank you for
not too bad, still, you know.
Well, we're doing the best we can here. You guys, sphere of influence, okay? So what they talked about business plan, I'm telling you, that's where it's at. Keep it simple. Keep it real simple and review it every day, okay? If you need help with the business plan, I'm happy to help you. All right. I've had one for like 20 years. All right, guys.
Yeah.
A different one every year, okay, by the way. That's
And I also want to tell everybody that the company himself, CBGR, is also helping the agents to formulate their own business plans. So Michelle and I can help the agent, and so Doug also, if you have any questions on formulating your business plan for 2025. Okay, so take advantage of this. The help that you can get, and get a business plan in order, okay, for next year. Appreciate that. And I think Nancy also volunteered to help, in person too. So that's good.
Just
Okay.
keep it simple and follow it. Make it
Right.
reasonable. Something that you'll do. If it's just talking to 2 or 3 clients a day is better than what you're doing now, probably.
Right.
So just keep it simple, follow it, and we're here to help you. All these affiliates will help you guys. I'll certainly help you. Peter will help you. Okay,
Yeah,
Michelle
yeah.
will help you.
Right.
Okay, that's
Okay,
it. Thank you.
good. Yeah, any questions, just call us, okay? All right, now as for the business in our hamper, we're not doing too badly. We have 5 new listings and 5 new sales. So that's not too bad at all. And I would like to tell you about the listing first. Nina, she has 4 new listings. Can you believe it? They're all in Monterey Park, 419 North Chandler Avenue. That's the project that James Charles has. And all the condos are selling for like the 738, 731, 748, 750. So those are pretty nice condos, brand new condos, and it's very a good location, and very affordable too. So if you have any buyers that wants to buy a condo in Monterey Park, this is the way to go. Okay, and then Mary Scott has a listing for a residential in San Gabriel for $1.35 million. And for the listing commission is 2.5, which is not too bad at all, considering the situation now with the real estate. And as for sale, as I told you, that we have 5 sales today, and 2 of them are by Nina Xu. Is for those condos in Monterey Park. One was sold for $730,000, and the other one's for $738,000. And for that $738,000, Nina double-ended it, so that's pretty good. And then we have Rosa Reyes too, double-ended residence in Alhambra for $905,000. So altogether, she get about 4% commission, which is equivalent to like 36,000. So it's not bad at all. And also the sales by Ruben and Sunshine for the residents in Alhambra for 700,000. And also they have consummated the lease for $743,980 and none of that is at the 5,000. This is a referral fee for $5,000 for the lease. So that's not bad either. Okay, so that's all the business for the 2 offices. And I can see that the time is almost 11 o'clock. And, I was planning to do my presentation on how to deal with the unrepresented buyers, but I don't think I have the time to do it today. So I will postpone it to next week. And I promise you, I'll tell you, I will share with you and how to deal with the unrepresented buyer. Okay, but yeah, today we have very good information from Frank, and Frank has excellent insight on how to do the mortgages and how to have the different ways for the buyers to finance. So there's so many ways to skin the cat, and the more alternative for the buyers, the better off you are. So that's thank you Frank for those information. Appreciate that very much. So now at this point, I would like to open the forum to anybody. The thrills and the agonies of in practicing real estate.
Yes, I have something. I want to save time, but the Portuguese Bends area, the latest thing to slow down the subsidence is they're sticking pipes deep into the ground to relieve the pressure and getting the water out and sending it over and out into the ocean. It's not a final thing to do, but it's to slow down the progression of the subsidence. So that's all I wanted to add. And you'll get the landslide and all that in the Snap and HD reports.
So it was one of the liquefaction.
He's really good.
It could be like liquefaction, but mainly they want to slow down, and the geologists got together and they thought this would be one of the reasons, or one of the temporary fixes on subsiding, slowing the subsiding, because the homes are still sinking.
Yeah, I
Not
know.
gonna be able to stay there.
Actually, I get calls from my legal clients and saying that, hey, you know, I own a home in those areas. What can I do? Can I sue the city? Can I sue anybody? I said, well, this is a natural hazard. I don't know. What do you think, John?
Well,
Do you
yeah,
have
it would
any?
be in a natural hazard report.
Yeah,
It depends on when they did purchase, whether they got the state level only or did they get the state local information. It might be a test case. You might have to go
Yeah.
into court and test it to see, hey, we should have been told
yeah.
that maybe locally this was in a landslide area.
So it can mushroom into a class action.
Right, exactly. And I
I see.
bet there will be.
Yeah, okay.
I bet there
okay.
will be. That will be
That's
one of the,
interesting. That's
that
interesting because I receive calls from my legal clients to and say that what can I do with this? You know, I said, well, I don't know. This is something new. You know that you have to test it
well,
judicially.
especially since they're going to be forced out of their homes
Yeah.
because it's not safe to be there.
Right. And they can't live there. They have to live in a hotel. You know, and a lot very inconvenient for them.
And the insurance people are saying, no, that's natural.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
covering that. So,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
going to be the deep pocket builder maybe who's
Yeah.
going to be responsible. They have to find them,
Yes.
still in business.
Right.
It's going to
Thank you
be.
for sharing, John. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Anything else from the agents? It's open forum right now. Anything you want to share? Hopefully quiet today. Okay, if not, I would like to join the meeting and I will see you next week. And I hope you have a nice week.
Have a great
See
week.
you
Bye,
next week.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Okay.